Hello interwebs, 'tis I, Sebastian Petroni, a very exhausted Sebastian Petroni, and this is F3G2, coming at you from the rather warm back room of Famous Faces and Funnies and Get Your Fun On. And you might be watching this on YouTube, or you might be watching this on GonnaGeek.com, home of geekiness and .com-osity. And I remembered the banner, and you may not have the best view of the banner, but that's because in order to get the banner, there's nothing to put this thing on. I have taped it to a comic book long box and balanced the comic book and then stuck it precariously on top of a vacuum cleaner, which is balanced even more precariously on top of another comic book long box full of old toys of some sort.
Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe toys.
Because Jared decided to not hold it.
Because it happens.
Selfish.
So, I'm either a genius or I'm either like MacGyver level genius or just really like, I don't know, redneck ghetto genius.
We know which one it is.
It's nothing with the word genius. Alright. First up, Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars, is Princess Leia #1. Princess Leia #1. With Princess Leia and another Soul Survivor, Yvonne. It's another survivor of Alderaan. Because while they blew up Alderaan, they didn't blow up all of Alderaan. The planet's gone, but this is a universe where people travel around. They're Alderaanians. All around. So,
they're an endangered species.
Princess Leia's put on, look, Empire wants you dead. You're not going anywhere. Sit here, look pretty, mourn. And she's like, I can't do that because I know you haven't seen the other movies yet because we haven't made them. This takes place right after the award ceremony in New Hope. So she's like, but I'm badass and more capable than all the boys on the team. Including the guy I don't know is my brother. The guy I don't know will be my husband.
And the walking carpet.
Maybe the walking carpet is competent, but these guys are jokes. So, it's great. It's her literally coming into her own, and written by Mark Waid. And as we know, Mark Waid can do no wrong. And as far as art goes, Dodson. We got Dodson. See, I did a Jurassic Park thing. I'm so clever. But it's Terry and Rachel Dodson. So, double Dodson art. And Mark Waid writing, and Star Wars equals read this. Get on it. Swamp Day number 40.
That last one.
It's over. And it made me sad because Charles Soule wrote it so damn good that it was so good.
Damn it, Marvel!
And Jesus Saez. Jesus Saez's artwork is always so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And
Keep it together, man.
I never had it together in the first place. And this isn't helping.
Keep up the facade then.
There was no facade. Nobody believed I had it together. Don't be ridiculous.
Fair point.
And it shows, you talk about character growth, but there has been, no character has grown so much in
Really?
the New 52 as the Thing of Swamp. But yeah, Jesus Saez and Javi Pina go back and forth on inks. Jesus Saez does all the pencils. I weep. But no, and I don't mean grown as in like he's a plant. I mean grown as in since they've started over and he's like brand new to being Swamp Thing, is like screwed up 11 Ways of Sunday and learned from each of those screw ups. Like not just, well, it may not matter because if they bring the book back, which they most likely will, with a different writer, which it'll have to be because this one has an exclusive contract with Marvel. I told you I was tired. New writers tend to forget all growth. They just get, and here's the character, the way I'm going to write. So, who knows? This may be the last issue of Swamp Thing I can ever read because it just won't be the same. Single tier. Future's End. shit's leading into Convergence, which confused me even more because I think I asked this last week. If Convergence is spinning out of Future's End, which takes place in a hypothetical 5-year future from the current New 52 DC universe, does that mean it doesn't affect anything in comic terms for 5 years? I don't understand. Or just after it's over, they just, here's some books that are in continuity, and here's some random shit we felt like doing because fuck it, we can now. I don't know what's happening, and as someone within the autistic spectrum, I don't like not knowing what's happening, and it bothers me. I like the Atom in this. They've basically beaten the Brainiac part of the Menace, and now they're up against the oops, we saved the day by unleashing a bigger monster known as Brother Eye, because
Crap.
because I'm tired of Brother Eye, and not like in the he's a bad guy way, but in the I'm tired of Brother Eye. I'm tired of Brother Eye. He's been like the literal Deus Ex Machina since they brought him back for the Killing Blue Beetle story.
Infinite Crisis.
And before that, Countdown to Infinite Crisis.
Identity Crisis?
No. I don't remember when they killed him.
Yeah, they had to kill him in Countdown.
Yeah, something happened. But I'm not talking about the even the Blue Beetle part. I'm talking about just because literally we're redoing the same story where he's built by Batman and Mr. This time instead of Batman and Max Lord, it's Batman and Mr. No,
Terrific.
Mr. Terrific, and then they use it and they lose control of it, and but we've seen it. We've seen it.
Well, he's literally Earth's Brainiac.
He's literally Ultron Light.
Better analogy.
We've seen it, is what I'm trying to say. Batman Eternal is good.
See it again.
Spoiler is starting to frustrate me because, but in a good way. Like, when you're watching a movie and they're trying to build tension and you're like, no, because the tension is working. Well, they've done a great job of, since she seems to think that the person behind everything going wrong in Gotham is Bruce Wayne. She is suddenly ridiculously competent and is about to get the whole world to know that Bruce Wayne is evil. It will probably be problematic for our Cape Crusader. Oh, Magoo, you've done it again. Saga number 26. What do I need to tell you about Saga? Read it. Fiona Staples, Brian K. Vaughan. Beautiful, brilliant. Read it. Greatest thing ever. Touches on feels. Touches on feels. Grayson. You know how comics love to give you, here's a twist coming up, and here's a twist, and when you finally get to the answer, and the answer is anticlimactic. Well, Tim Seeley found a great way to avoid that trap. You never get the answer. It's beautiful. I'm going to spoil this in 3, 2, 1. Walk away if you don't want any spoilers for the Grayson. Alright? Spiral's leader here. Forget what his name is in there. The swirly face guy.
We'll just call him Lord Douche.
Well, he realizes he's been screwed over. And his last words to the person about to kill him are, wait, how do you, he goes, wait, please, before you do it, the secret has to come out, why I did this. My name is, and then she walks away. Honestly, mister, whatever. Do you really think I care? So we get no resolution. I loved it. Justice League 3000 had no blue and gold. So,
Moving on?
So you think I didn't love it? But no!
Really?
Because Giffen and DeMatteis have hit their stride. While it had no blue and gold, this issue read the most like the really good first 20 issues of Justice League International. You know, it wasn't Justice League International for all of those first 20, but you get my drift. Of the Bwahaha League. This reads the most like that of anything since those books. It was brilliant. To the point where, you know, like, Superman and a bunch of them get caught up in Superman and Batman. A bunch of them get caught up in this shtick, and there's this great scene. It was like the best where she's just finished. Ice has just finished saying how this isn't my league. Blah blah, blah. And then they have this moment, and she goes, maybe this league is. Maybe this league is more like the JLI than I realized. And Superman's like, no need to be insulting. And the only thing missing are those Maguire faces, which would have made this perfect. But it was so good. It was so good. Also, it was so good. Just read it. It's fun. Now that you know it's its own separate little... Dan DiDio said, look, Keith, we've been friends for a long time, Keith. Giffen. Say Giffen in brackets. All right, Keith Giffen. So I'm giving you your own damn Earth. And you and James DeMatteis can just go the hell away. All right, and they did, and they're having a ball, and it's awesome. Guardians team up. Arthur Adams artwork. Guardians. A whole lot of Avengers. Hawkeye facepalm. Beautiful. So beautiful. This poster is on hold for me up in the window. The Big Con Job was good, but it's Jimmy Palmiotti. You knew it was gonna be good. Big Con Job #1 from Boom Studios. A bunch of has-been actors and celebrities are on rough times. They're older and they're on rough times. One's on really rough times. There is a suicide within these pages. But then the rest of them are approached with an offer. Someone's like, I've got, this might sound insane, but if you're interested, I've got a plan to rob the biggest convention in the world, San Diego Comic-Con. They are going to rob San Diego Comic-Con through the use of inside men that are washed up actors. Not entirely dissimilar to the thing that was done by why am I blanking on his name? The writer.
I know what you're talking about.
I know
I
the
can't think
guy.
of his name
And
either.
where the government calls on Gil Gerard to be an assassin at cons, but this one's a heist. So it's the same line of pulling out who would suspect the actors who've been there, the 60s and 70s heroes, sci-fi heroes, to be either government assassins or master thieves. But there you have it. Neverboy is weird, but I like it. This is one of those books that I couldn't remember if I ordered the others, and it's Neverboy #1 by Sean Simon, Tyler Jenkins, and Kelly Fitzpatrick. It's a great idea. Imaginary friends that take special drugs to be real, and one of them is in trouble, and he's trying to get he's screwed, and they've cut off his supply, and he's got limited time, and has already lost his family, but is convinced he can get them back, and it's brilliant.
This is a great
It's
concept.
brilliant. Aquaman and the Others, #11, is I believe the last issue of this.
It may be.
It ends well, and my boy is safe. See how he's standing to himself by himself? Made me go, what? Why is that symbolic? Or nope, it's just
Him.
Dan Jurgens' placement. he was like, don't want to have that. What do you call it? That tangent with the trident going into the character line. So he's over there, and it could just be because even Dan Jurgens knows none of these characters are relevant. As long as Prisoner of War is there, it should be called Prisoner of War and Aquaman and the others. Prisoner of War and Aquaman and the others.
Calm down.
Prisoner of War and Stock and Aquaman and the others.
Moving on. Stop fondling the book.
If Prisoner of War was on the old Batman show, every time the thing went pow, you think he'd have to say what? Pow! What? Oh, I thought never. I wondered. But it ended satisfactorily, and the characters are still there to be used, and I am happy. That's all you need to know. Rocket Raccoon in a dark possible future through a virtual reality that's not quite a video game, but he keeps calling it that. This is so good. Who did the art on this? Somebody Parker. Jake Parker, Scotty Young on the writing. It's Rocket Raccoon, and it's great. It's great. It's great. Next week we get Howard the Duck. I can say I live in a world where I'm reading ongoing Howard the Duck and Rocket Raccoon comics. Suck it, universe! Rat Queens. Newer, better, faster, more beautiful art. Great story. I can't say his... How the hell do you say his name? I'm going to screw it up. Yeah.
Steppin'.
Is it just Steppin'?
As far as I know, it's Steppin'.
You steppin' in. So that J is really just there to fuck with my ignorant mind, because
Why not?
it's working. Next thing you know, you're going to tell me that the writer's name is Weiss, and he spells it with a B because he's German. What? Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I mean, son of a sitch. see what I did there? Because that would have to be a B. So,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. You know, you worry when there's a change in art like that, because the original art was so good, but then there were all sorts of issues, both in and out of the comic world. And no, Steppin' stepped in. Okay, stepped in, and it's beautiful. It's actually, I dare say, better than before, and I loved it before. And this is important to my cameraman, who is a Dave and resembles an orc. Orc Dave looks great.
Really? Yes.
Orc Dave looks awesome. It's great. If you haven't been reading this, get the trade, get the new issues, read this. Rat Queens is the best thing you didn't know you were looking for. Unless you knew you were looking for it, then it's still the best. Dayman comes really slowly because Brian Steelfreeze. But it's worth waiting for because Brian Steelfreeze. So this is Dayman number 6. They started putting out issue number 1, I think it was 1936. And it finally got up to number 6. So they're going in kind of a clip, but it's so worth it. It's Matt Gagnon and Michael Allen Nelson, 2 writers I admire, and Brian Steelfreeze on art. So it's just beautiful to look at, and I guess the colors are Darren Moore. And we'll even throw out letters by Ed Dukeshire, because I like saying Dukeshire. Just picture like a noble hobbit. But or a hobbit that looks like John Wayne. I'm not sure.
I like that better.
Well, Sauron, I already got a ring. Pilgrim. So
That should not be that funny.
what if they'd made The Hobbit in like 1960? You know, 1958.
With actors.
Yeah. But it's great. It's brilliant. It's vampires, but more it's about their daymen, which are the special humans whose job it is to see to the everyday shit and take care of them. And it's great. It's not True Blood. Take a better True Blood concept and mix it and like say, "Hi, I'm True Blood. I'm an HBO success," and then have another series walk up and go, "Hi, I'm The Sopranos, and I think you're cute. Oh, do you? That's adorable." And then they have a baby, and that baby is Damon, because it's like mob vampire.
So,
A little bit cooler than Sopranos, and a lot cooler than
Renfield's job without the insanity.
a lot cooler than it's like that's good actually. Renfield's job with that. It's like, what if for Renfield you chose like Jason Statham with hair, Ryan Gosling, I guess.
Or what they did with Renfield in the short-lived Dracula series.
I don't remember.
It was
I didn't
good.
watch it. Lobo. We get the final glimpse of the death of Zarnia. And thank you, Cullen Bunn. I don't want to spoil anything too specific, but I've been complaining that the only thing I didn't like about this book was the human sidekicks. He was given 3 human sidekicks. He doesn't have human sidekicks at the end of this. Now, I was sort of hoping that they would all get killed.
You see this?
But, in the immortal words of Meatloaf, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Thank you, Cullen Bunn. My faith in you was not misplaced. Stray, number 2, from Action Lab. This is by Vito DeSante. I like saying Vito. Sounds like I'm telling Congress no. It's by where's the first names? They put the last names on the back, on the front cover. Where's the page with first names? It's like not in the front or the back. I know it's like in the middle. There's like a 10-minute cold open on this if it was a show. Vito DeSante is the writer and letterer. Sean Izaxi is the artist. Ross Campbell on colors. It's beautiful to look at, and it's cool. It's a Batman and Robin-esque team that are actually father and son. And at the end of the first issue, someone had killed Doberman, so his son Rottweiler is looking into it, not necessarily stepping back into. They've both been out of the game for a while, but and it's dealing with a lot of that. And there are some interesting characters, and it's really well written. And people always complain, "There's nothing new under the sun, man. It's all been..." Yes, but what makes comics good is that we like these tropes. All right, we complain about these tropes, and by we I don't mean all of us. I mean loudly on the internet. There are people, "It's all the same shit, man. I'm sick of it," and then we all buy it because we know that those tropes are, while they are tropes, they are also what we love. And the trick isn't to try and create something new because it can't be done. The trick is to dust those tropes off, make them seem fresh and cool, and make you go, "See, this is the kind of thing I love," and they're doing it right. And Stray is the kind of thing I love, and they're doing it right. The Woods is the kind of thing I didn't know I'd love, and they're doing it awesome. James Tinian, Michael Dialinus, and Hassan Gonzalez. I love this book. It's people from different time periods stuck on an alien planet, all sorts of weird shit going on.
Like a robot.
I can honestly say, it's like, oh, I see where that's going. I don't see where it's going. I'm following along with what's gone. I have no idea where it's going, but I'm liking the direction and the pieces I've put together. It's wonderful. You should check this out. Hawkeye number 1. I should have led with this. This is great. Jeff Lemire and what's Perez's? Which Perez is this? Was it Ramon Perez? Is that a person? What am I coming up with here? Yep. Jeff Lemire and Ramon Perez on story and art, and Ian Herring and Ramon Perez on colors. There's like flashbacks and new stuff, and it's great. It is a worthy successor to the previous Hawkeye series. It's freaking awesome, and it proves that Lemire just made Arrow readable. The New 52 Green Arrow was crap, and then Lemire took it and made it amazing, and then he left, and the guys from the show made it a watered down version of the show, and I stopped reading and was like, I am heartbroken. Now Lemire is writing Hawkeye, and you'd think it'd be a tough thing to come off of, well, I was just writing Green Arrow for like a year, and now I'm going to write Hawkeye, and I'm going to write them similar. No, he steps in and writes Hawkeye like he was. They're so different. Jeff Lemire is such an amazing writer, because some writers have are great because they have a great style. Jeff Lemire is great because he has like a number of great styles, and you put him on a book, especially in a thing like comic books where it's all like shared universe and different whatever. You can put him somewhere and he adapts, so it's still all him. It's completely all him, but his style adjusts more than adapts to fit the character he's working on, and that's the sign of a great comic writer. Because otherwise, if you go in, you need to make it yours, but if you go in trying to make it yours, then you lose that shift of the character, and it becomes more you're that character than that character. And this is both, and it's beautiful, and it's a perfect, delicate line. And he writes both Hawkeyes great, because it's Team Hawkeye, and it's amazing, and his storytelling, he reuses dialogue from the flashback to the now, and it's just so well done. It's so well done. Egos, Crunched, the Earth Galactic Operatives, Stuart Moore and Gus Storms. Gus Storms has the greatest name ever, by the way. If I were a secret agent, that's the name I'd take.
It's a good name.
I'd be Gus Storms. I was about to say Private Eye, so I guess maybe not secret agent. I'd be Gus Storms, Private Eye. Storms, detective agent. I would be something that involves a trench coat and a gun and a self-narrative, if my name was Gus Storms. But
Gus
that
Storms,
aside,
time traveler.
This is issue number 6, second arc. First arc was good. This is like a if you liked the Keith Geffen era dirty Legion of Superheroes, this is a book for you. I don't know what else to say. I love it. This was one I stumbled into. It wasn't what I thought it was. I wasn't sure what to make of that, and then found that I really, really love this. And I'm glad that I never remembered. I would always look at it and go, oh, I need to cut back on books. I should drop Egos. I never remember to tell them to drop Egos. It's always there, and I'm like, oh, I meant to tell them. But it's always great, so I'm never going to tell them to drop Egos. So,
In theory.
so I have an Egos problem.
Yes.
Harold, Lovecraft, and Tesla is over, but leaves room for, they could have more adventures. This was number 3 of 3. Which is weird, because it's not really, it must be a 4th issue. And I'm just lying with where I thought it said. I thought it said 3 of, it says History in the Making, 3 of 3. So maybe it's just the end of that story. I'm not sure in retrospect, but it was really, really good. And you've got the unlikely duo of Nikola Tesla, and
H.P. Lovecraft.
H.P. Lovecraft saving the world through science and magic. What else do you need to know? Really?
And it works.
Hulk number 12. This was a hard sell on me, this Hulk, but I really like it now. It took, out of the 12 issues, it probably took 8 to get me hooked. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mark Bagley's art, gorgeous. But the direction that, what's Dugan's first name? Jerry Dugan took it on was so different that, and I loved, you're following Mark Waid, and we all know I love Mark Waid, so if you replace Mark Waid or follow Mark Waid, I automatically have a grudge against you that you have to erase before I can then start building positives to like you. So he had to earn that off, and he did, and that's an impressive thing to do, because I'm a small, petty little man,
Quite.
and yeah, that's a thing I have, who doesn't deal well with change. But this is great. It's got touches of humor. It's really serious. It's got some dark, and it's good because this thinking man's Hulk, who's losing his intelligence and dealing with trying to stop something that he created at his peak of intelligence that is now smarter than he is. It's great to see the Hulk get nervous. The Hulk is training. He starts out training with Danny Rand. He wants to learn. He's like, teach me how to do that. And he's like, well, even if I could, that would be kind of really unethical. And Hulk's like, but what if my opponent was an evil version of me and I had to stop him at all costs? And Danny Rand's like, well, in that case, I could teach you a few things, how to focus your chi and maximize your strikes, but there's only one, well, me. And Hulk's like, I understand. You're saying my fist won't light on fire, and that's a shame, but I can live with that. Yeah, that's just a great line. You're saying my fist won't light on fire, and that's a shame, but I can live with it. So he's going to learn Kung Fu. He's not going to learn to have, the Hulk with an iron fist, because then why would we need any other Avengers? Green Lantern no more. That describes, what I'm going to read? Green Lantern no more. I don't know if they just killed Kilowog. I really don't know.
Oh, hell no.
Kilowog was well written in this issue, but I don't know. I think it's just another year before Green Lantern is in such a place that, once again, the only thing that can save it will be Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
Black Cross by #1 from Dynamite. This is by Ellis and Worley. It's Ellis on sort of superheroes, doing an odd take, but it's Ellis, so it's great. Art's good, story's great. Read this, it's cool. Imperium #2 is a comic. Army of Darkness #4 continues to be Cullen Bunn writing, Ash fighting in space. Shit gets real. Satellite has... This is a satellite that's possessed by...
The Deadites?
Yeah, and it kind of rips through the spacecraft they're on, which is bad when you're in space, if something rips through the side. Yeah. But there's some great dialogue, some great moments. It's everything you want it to be if you wanted it to be Ash in space. And that ends that. Till next week. Ooh la la.